Today, I am so excited to share with you one of my favorite topics in helping entrepreneurs build their business. And it's all about building your customer avatar and knowing the audience that you serve. Now, at the very end of this, I'm going to give you something away. I'm going to give you a really great workbook for creating your customer avatar. But also, I'm going to send you over to grab a free chapter of my book. Make sure you stick around to the end so you can get that. Because one of the things that I tell people when I first start coaching them or mentoring them or working on business strategy with them is it doesn't matter what kind of business we build. At the end of the day, you have to have an audience. So that free chapter of my book, it's going to help you understand the components that you need right now to start building your audience. So let me share my screen. We're going to dig into building your customer avatar and your audience. Okay. All right. Let me get this on the big screen here and hit present, and off we will go. All right, so this is all about building your customer avatar. My name is Jessica Green, been in business for 18 years, have successfully and unsuccessfully built and operated 8 different startups. I will tell you that I've learned more in my failures than I have in my successes, but here we go, okay, on an upward trend, momentum in business. All right, so there's top 6 categories when you're trying to determine your customer avatar. And I want you to take some notes here or take some pictures of the screen. There is a workbook that you're going to get at the end of this to help you move through all of these things. So who are they? What is their demographic, their profile, their age, their gender, their location, their education, their occupation? What's their marital or relationship status? Do they have children? Who are they? That's component number 1. What is their demographic? We want to get that down. It is important. It's going to be important because where they live and how you serve them. When I say where they live, I mean where they live maybe on social media, where they live at events, things that they do so that you can target them and where they're going to be. Number 2, what are their goals and values? What personal or professional objectives are they striving to achieve? What values guide their decisions and behaviors? This is going to be important when you're trying to figure out the problems and things that you can help them with so that you can serve them best. What challenges and pain points do they face? And we're going to talk about that just a little bit in a couple of minutes. But what obstacles are hindering their progress towards their goals? What problems do they need solved that your product or service can address? Going to be very important when you're figuring this out and what you can serve your customers with the best or your prospects so that they turn into customers. Where do they seek information? Which platforms or channels are they living on? What do they use to find information? Is it Google? Is it social media? Is it ChatGPT? Is it blogs, podcasts, books? Who do they trust or look up to in your industry? Who are the influencers, the thought leaders? Who are they following? Who are they listening to? That's going to be very valuable to your research when you're defining your customer avatar. What are their objections or their fears? Man, this is going to be real important when you're trying to solve a problem for them, because even though the solution sounds easy to you, it might be hard for them. So there might be this bridge you need to help them cross before they find it safe enough to actually take your solution. Okay, so we need to know what their objections or fears are. What negative experiences have they had in the past with similar products or services? I just had a sales call the other day, and one of the objections on the calls was a fear of going through what they just went through with paying somebody to do what we're proposing to do for them. And I completely understand that. I don't want them to go through that again, but we need to be prepared for how to answer that question. What motivates their buying decision? What benefits are they looking for in a product or service? What emotional or practical needs are they trying to fulfill through their purchase? Those are going to be your 6 main categories when defining your customer avatar. And stick around to the end so we can get you that workbook. So your customer avatar statement, this is going to be important. Once you get all of that workbook done, you get all of the things filled out about your customer avatar, I want you to make your customer avatar statement. And this is how you're going to fill in all the green parts, which is also in your workbook. Okay, so meet, and I want you to get detailed about who this person is, almost as if you're writing a little biography for them. Meet your ideal customer's name, meet Susie, a single female at the age of 35 who works in the salon industry, who is passionate about traveling and hanging out with her friends and gardening. They are facing not being able to sleep at night and feeling like they can't get the extra added weight off their body. and seeking a solution that can help them achieve their aspirations and goals, fit into that dress for the high school reunion, with a strong desire for not making it difficult, not having to go on a strict diet. They value being able to have some freedom in their choices and the things that they put in their body. Your product or service name, whatever that is the perfect fit for Susie, as it provides the ease of taking the supplement that will help her gain the benefits that she needs. She will lose the weight, fit into her dress, and she will feel amazing at her high school reunion. Now, that was off the top of my head, right? So you're going to have to fill in the blanks for what works for your product, service, or opportunity. Then I need you to condense this down, because you've got to have an elevator pitch for your customer brand statement. Because when people ask you, Susie, what do you do? Jessica, what do you do? You need to be able to spit this out pretty quickly. So I help female online entrepreneurs or female social marketers who are struggling with infusing tech into their business because they don't have the knowledge base to do so. So they can scale and automate their business, saving them more time and more money, which is what they probably got started with as their goal in the first place, without the fear of the unknown, without the fear of not knowing how to do it, without the fear of doing it alone. I have a couple different versions. It kind of depends on who I'm speaking to. All right. So there's the importance of knowing your audience. If you don't know precisely who you serve, then how are you actually going to serve them up exactly what they need? I think too many people get involved in social marketing, network marketing, influencer marketing, because maybe they just stumbled across a product that looked like a great idea, or they fell in love with it themselves, but then they have to turn around and sell it. And you have your testimonials, but unless your testimony matches your audience needs, then it doesn't really matter anyway. So you really need to know who your audience is and how you are going to serve them. So who do you serve? What do you serve them? What problems do they have? And how do you solve them? We're going to go through each one of these real quick. So who do you serve? What do you serve them? What problems do they have? And how do you solve them? Those are the 4 questions you need to be able to answer when you're done with this training and you go fill out your workbook. All right, so who do you serve? What is your niche? What determines who you serve? You or your product? What comes first? Who do you want to help? Or what do you want to sell? Those are some questions that can help you figure out all of the pieces of who you serve. Is it something you do, or is it your product that is serving them? So who do you serve? What is your niche? What determines who you serve, you or your product? And what comes first? Who do you want to help? And what do you want to sell? Now, what do you serve them? There's 5 main category products. In my opinion, there's 5 main category products. There's physical, there's digital, there's service-related products, there's experiential related products, and there's hybrid products, a mixture of a couple of these. So physical products are going to be tangible items that can be touched, held, or seen: clothing, furniture, electronics. Then there's going to be digital products. They're going to be intangible products that exist in digital format, typically accessed or used like through electronic devices, software, ebooks, streaming video. Then there's service products, intangible offerings that involve the performance of a task, a you product, right? So healthcare services, financial, consulting, transportation, those are service products that can be provided without you being with you being involved, but you are serving somebody without a physical product. Experiential products, these focus on providing an experience rather than a tangible item. This could include things like concert tickets, movie tickets, theme park visits, a guided tour, something that's experiential. Travel. Hybrid products, these combine physical and digital elements. Think of a smartwatch, okay, that has physical components. They're going to send it to you. You're going to have a wristband and casing, but it has digital technology wrapped into it for its functionality. So those are your main categories of what do you serve them. So which category do you fall in with what you want to serve to your people? What problems do they have? This is so important, okay? So sometimes we focus on the macro problems, the bigger things, and what we actually need to be focusing on is the micro problems. So I'm going to show you the difference. Macro problems are on a smaller scale. These are overarching challenges that impact a significant aspect of an individual's life or small community. For example, in the context of a mom wanting to lose weight, a macro problem could be the prevalence of unhealthy food options in her neighborhood or the lack of accessible fitness facilities. Those are macro problems, but that's not what's keeping her up at night. What's keeping her up at night are the micro problems. These are the day-to-day obstacles. Her pants aren't zipping up. She can't sleep at night. She's worried that her husband doesn't find her attractive anymore. She can't figure out how to lose the weight. She can't figure out how to wake up earlier. She's got a busy schedule. She doesn't know how to fit it in. Those are the things, the cravings, the sugar that's in the pantry, stress-related eating habits. Those are the micro problems. That's speaking to those problems is where you're going to get your customer or your prospect to convert, okay? Is speaking to them on the level of their smallest problems, because those are the ones that actually keep them up at night, that they want solutions to. They overall need solutions from the macro problems, but until you solve those small ones, which is what you're going to be more easily able to do, they're not going to move on to the other ones. And they're not going to buy because of the bigger ones. They're going to buy because of the smaller ones. So getting them solutions to those small ones is where you're going to win. And the problem with most salespeople in their marketing is they're focusing on the bigger outer shell, and they're not focusing in on those smaller micro problems that are actually keeping their avatar up at night. All right, how do you solve them? There are these different types of solutions: functional, convenience, cost-effective, innovative, personalized, and social/environmental. Functional solutions, they can address a specific need or problem by providing functionality or features that fulfill the customer's requirements. For example, smartphone with a high quality camera addresses the need for capturing quality photos or videos. Now, I'm not going to go through each of these other ones. You can screenshot this screen. You can save this for your own study, but those are the different types of ways you can solve their problems. So you want to find which category you fall into so that you can put this whole thing together in a packet of your customer avatar and how you're going to serve your customers and how you're going to solve their problems and how that's going to be packaged for them. When you're defining the problems that you solve, there's three main categories. There's personal development and well-being, financial and career fulfillment, and relationships and safety. So you want to figure out which category that your problems fall into when it comes to this, because this is going to help you when you're designing your products, when you're figuring out how to serve them. If you know the types of problems you solve, and remember, go back to that macro and that micro, but most fall into these categories: personal development and well-being, financial and career fulfillment, or relationship and safety. That's the three main categories. I'm not saying there's some that doesn't fall outside of this, but those are the. Now, I want you to define the problems that you solve, these three main problem pillars. So this is an exercise for you. I want you to come up with those the big macro problem. Susie wants to lose weight. The three pillars, the three micro problems are going to be, well, three main problems. I want to lose weight. I want to look better. I want to look sexier. I want my pants to zip up. And then you can go to the small little things that eat away at us, that actually are the things that keep us up at night and will help us pull the trigger if you can solve these problems. I don't think that my husband finds me sexy anymore. I don't know if I'm going to fit in my dress for the high school reunion. I lay at night worrying about my health, and if I'm going to be healthy enough to live a long life. Like, those are the things that are micro problems that are keeping them up at night. Okay. So those are the ones you want to dig into. I want you to figure out your micro problems when it comes to your avatar and what you're trying to serve them with, so that you can solve their problems the best. So your niche, you need to know who, what, when, where, and how. Who you're going to serve, what you're going to serve them, when you're going to serve it to them, where you're going to serve it to them, and how you're going to serve it to them. Okay, that is what you need to figure out about your niche. I hope that this training has been super valuable for you. It has been fast, it has been quick, it has been a fire hose, but I just wanted to get you the information and then get you your customer avatar workbook so that you can go through and download this, print it out, fill it out. And then I always say digitize things, put it in a Google Drive, because then it's really easy to copy these things and paste them into, this is just a little tip, copy them and paste them into like ChatGPT to come up with content or different things that you need. Once you have all of this stuff, you can define it all and get it all set up in one place. And then it's super easy to access. So I want you to go to this website here and you can download your customer avatar workbook. It is self-made.biz/customer avatar. Okay. Now, this is not a filled out, what we call this, your customer avatar biography, but I highly recommend doing something like this. I just put this through this in Canva, is creating an avatar, putting together what their name is. I want you to find a picture online of somebody who looks like Susie and put Susie's name on here. And what does she do? And who is she? And what is a little bit of her bio? And what are her goals? And what is her skills? What is her motivation? What's her personality like? What are her favorite brands? Put this all together, print it out, and pin it somewhere next to where you're working and creating content, so that you can always have this top of mind for yourself when you are working on your business. This will definitely help you. And then last but not least, have you started building your audience yet? I said this at the very beginning of the training, and I want to follow through with this. If not, it starts now. While you're putting all of this together and you're learning the rest of this, you're putting your brand together. If you haven't taken my branding blueprint training and printed that out, you should be doing that too. But you can grab the Tribe Builder Blueprint training. You can read the chapter by going right here, www.self-made.biz/superpower. I'll get you a free chapter of my book, and you can start reading that right away. And I think there's even an audio version you can probably get. I don't know if that's free, but you can go to that link. You can at least get the downloadable PDF of the chapter for free. Start reading that and start putting those things into action, because along with creating your avatar and your brand and all the things that you're going to need, you have to start building the audience, because it doesn't matter what you build if you don't have an audience to sell it to when it's all said and done. But doing that customer avatar work needs to go hand in hand. So as you're building the audience, you're building it with the right people for your product, service, or opportunity and the problems that you will be solving. This was a power-packed, very fast training. I hope you got a lot out of it. Go get your assets that I have attached here so that you can totally crush building out your business.